Okay, finishing up chapter 1, section 4 today, the distributive property. Did you guys feel pretty good about day 1 of the distributive property? Hopefully?
Not really.
Not really. Essentially, if we have a number times a set of parentheses, every term in the set of parentheses gets multiplied by the number outside the parentheses. So let's continue with that today. Got some more examples for you guys. Simplify each expression. I've got 14a plus 18a. Someone raise your hand and tell me how I would simplify this. Yeah.
Just add them.
Why can I add them?
Because they both have it. I mean, they both have variables.
They both have variables. Are they the same variable?
They're both assigned variables.
Yep. Do the variables have the same exponents?
No exponents, so yes.
If there's no exponent on a variable, it's understood to be 1. So they have the same exponents, right? So these are considered what we call like terms. In order for two terms to be like terms, they must have the same variables. The variables must have the same exponents. That is the case for these two terms here. So I can just take the two coefficients and add them, and I'm keeping the variable the same. Right? So, what's 14 plus 18? What? 32. And then I have that a behind it. So 32a would be the simplified version of this problem, this expression. Now, remember, let's think about what simplest form means. Are there any more like terms? Nope. Are there any parentheses to simplify? Nope, that's my simplest form. Okay? Questions on letter A?
No.
Okay, letter B. 4b squared plus 9b minus 3b. 4b squared plus 9b minus 3b. Someone raise your hand. Help me out here on this problem. Okay, so can someone raise your hand? Help me out with letter B here.
Here you go.
Anyone? What would I do on letter B here? 4b squared plus 9b minus 3b.
Exponent?
What about the exponents?
So we do the exponent?
Well, I've got b to the second power. Do I know what b is?
No.
No, so I can't evaluate my exponent here. It's a good thought, though. It's a good thought.
Oh. Yeah, for sure.
How can I simplify this expression? Remember, to simplify an expression means that there is no more like terms. There's no parentheses to be simplified, anything like that.
9b minus 3b?
What about them?
Just do 9b minus 3b?
Yeah. So, does everyone see how 9b and 3b are like terms here? They have the same variable. They have the same exponent. That makes them like terms. Is 4b squared a like term with them? Why not?
Because it has...
Because that's the exponent.
It's got a different exponent than those two, correct? So I can only combine the things that are like terms. In this case, it is 9b and this negative 3b. So I'm just going to leave 4b squared like it is. And then, just like I did earlier, there's these coefficients are being subtracted now, and I'm leaving the b just like it is. 4b squared plus, what's 9 minus 3? 6. And I've got that b after it. Any questions on this first step that I've done? Okay, let's think about simplest form here. Simplest form means there's no more like terms. Do I have any more like terms? Do what? I don't have any more like terms. They have the same variable, but they do not have the same exponent, do they?
No.
So these are not like terms. Simplest form also means I don't have any more parentheses. Do I have any parentheses?
No.
No. Is there anything else I can do here to simplify this?
The 4 and 2? No.
4 is not raised to the second power. B is. I don't know what B is, so I can't evaluate that exponent. Okay? 4 is not raised to the second power here, though. So is there anything else I can do?
No.
No. There's my answer. That's it. Any questions on example 5A or B? How we feel about those two? Hopefully good. Okay, can I move on? Example 6. There's 2 parts to this example, and then I'm done with the notes for today.
Yeah. Do we have an assignment?
Yeah. So part A, complete the table to write an algebraic expression for the phrase 3 times the sum of 2x and 3y decreased by twice the difference of 4x and y. So they've already filled out the chart for us in the textbook. They were so generous and did that for us. Is everyone okay with how we got our full expression here? It's from the phrase that they gave us. 3 times the sum. What does sum mean? Addition problem, right? So 3 times the sum of 2x and 3y. So I'm adding 2x and 3y, multiplying that sum times 3. So that's why it's 3, parentheses, 2x plus 3y. Is everyone okay with where they got that from?
Yeah.
Decreased by, that's one of those key phrases we learned about in our first sets of notes. Decreased by means subtraction. So using a subtraction symbol. Twice the difference. What does difference mean?
Subtraction.
That's another word that means subtraction, right? So twice the difference of 4x and y. So I'm subtracting 4x and y and doubling it. That's what twice means. So 2 times the quantity of 4x minus y. Are there any questions with where they got any of this from their phrase? How they came up with that algebraic expression. So that's part A. They completed the table for us. We didn't have to complete it ourselves. Part B wants me to simplify this expression and indicate the properties used. So we've got 3 times 2x plus 3y minus 2 times 4x minus y. So, any ideas as to what's going to be my first step here to simplify this algebraic expression? Any ideas? Someone who hasn't answered yet today. Yeah. I've got some numbers times some sets of parentheses. That means I'm going to have to use my distributive property. This 3 is getting distributed to the parentheses that it's being multiplied by. This right here is getting distributed to this set of parentheses. So, I'm multiplying out. What's 3 times 2x?
6x.
6x. 3 times 3y?
9.
9y. Any questions with my first set of distributive properties? We okay with how I got that? Let me backtrack myself here a little bit. I'm going to write it out like the book's going to write it out because you might see it on your assignment like this. Okay? I'm taking each term in the parentheses and it's getting multiplied by the number on the outside of the parentheses. Sorry about that. I'm going to write it the way the book writes it so that way you guys have that. Okay? Yes. 40. Next set of parentheses. Am I distributing 2 or negative 2?
Negative 2.
It is negative 2. This minus sign makes that 2 negative, so I've got to distribute that whole negative 2 through my parentheses. So I've got negative 2 times 4x times that first term. Negative 2 times negative y. That minus sign makes that y negative. So I've got to be a negative y right there. Any questions on that? What property do we use right there to get from here to here? Distributive property. So you might see some drop-down menus like we've been seeing to decipher which property we used on which step. Okay, from here, what are you guys going to do? Not yet. Yeah, multiply. I've got to do all my sets of multiplication, right? 3 times 2x gives me what? 6x. 3 times 3y gives me 9y. Okay with those first two? Negative 2 times 4x. Negative 8x or minus 8x. Negative 2 times negative y. Positive 2y. If I'm multiplying a negative times a negative, that gives me a positive. So what did we do right there? We did all our... What product or what operation did we use each time? Multiplication. So, on your assignment, you might see multiply. There's a very good chance you might see the substitution that we've been seeing on the assignment. So I'll just put multiply for now. We multiplied right there to get from this step right here to this step right here. Okay. What do I need to do now?
Combine like terms.
Yeah, so here I can combine like terms. The book wants to use all the properties that we've learned for up to this point. So I'm going to move some stuff around to get my like terms by each other. Do you guys remember the property that I use when I'm moving things around in a problem?
Yeah.
What is it?
Associative. No.
Associative is where I group them together with parentheses.
Wait, I got it. It's getting there. It's getting there.
Starts with a C. C-O.
I'm getting there. Commutative.
Commutative.
Got it.
And it's the addition one. Remember, we have an addition one and a multiplication one. So that's my commutative property. I've moved stuff around in my problem, in my addition problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, these two are like terms. They have the same variable with the same exponent, right? So I can combine their coefficients and leave the x the same. Same thing with my y's. These are like terms. I can combine the coefficients, keep the y the same. This one is technically called our distributive property. It's kind of the reverse of our distributive property. And then, what's 6 minus 8?
Negative 2.
Negative 2x. 9 plus 2. 11y. And the book just uses the term simplify here. I'm trying to use the words you might see on your assignment. Okay? So here, are there any more like terms? No. Do I have any parentheses? No. Is there anything else I can do here to simplify this expression? No. That's my answer. We okay with that on example 6, part B? Any questions, comments, concerns? All right. You're looking for 1.4, homework number 2, MH on Canvas. That's your assignment. This will be due Monday the 9th. So make sure you get it knocked out by Monday the 9th. Monday the 9th. Are there any questions before I end my recording?